Hey, it's Chris Hawk. This is NRGY. We're going to talk everything fintech and energy. We're going to go through an overview of what is energy and what does this mean to the world. And most importantly, we're going to talk about the outlook and a roadmap of things to come, things that are releasing, things that are happening behind the scenes, and a sneak peek at the new technologies, releases, DApps, iNFTs, partnerships, and alliances that are coming within the energy ecosystem. So without further ado, my name is Chris Hawk, and this is the very first Energy Wire. Let's go. Okay, let's get started. Now, before we begin, I think it's important that you understand why I'm the one talking to you right now, especially considering that NRGY and the NRGY DeFi system is a decentralized application. It's a platform that's decentralized, meaning there is no company, there is no centralized organization that owns NRGY. I don't own NRGY, my colleagues don't own NRGY. There's a bunch of people that have worked together to build a platform like this, but we don't own it, just like somebody doesn't own Bitcoin. I guess you could compare it to that. So, but the reason I'm talking to you is because I chose about a year and a half, almost 2 years ago, to triple down on fintech, on financial technology. I come from a background of marketing and business development, and before that I had nothing to do with building businesses whatsoever, but I was fortunate to have found Google back when Google was like printing money in 2005, and I struck some great success early on in my career, and I went on to do some amazing things and build software and companies and speak all over the world and do some amazing, impactful business. Along the way, during that time, I also realized how broken the systems were that support those businesses. So my business in general was a marketing platform. I had a marketing system. It allowed people to market products and services out there. It allowed them to connect with each other and make transactions and do all these things. And unfortunately, no matter how great my ambitions were, or what I aspired to do, it was always limited by the systems that were in place or the systems I had access to in order to scale that business. We went on to do some great things, but unfortunately it was very difficult to scale and control, meaning the financial systems such as merchant banking, merchant accounts, transactions, delivering product to our customers, taking on refunds, and dealing with fees upon fees upon fees for just about everything that we did. Not to mention the fees for refunds and chargebacks and all the things that come with owning a internet-based business, or any business for the most part. So along that way, I realized, like, man, I just couldn't scale the business how I wanted to. I couldn't really do the things I wanted to because it took so long, and it took so much risk on my part for my business to really go out there and do the things that we aspired to do, especially when we had hundreds of thousands of people that were distributing products. It became difficult because you have to pay those people. You have to transact between those people. You have to deliver products. There's a lot of things that happen that now blockchain and financial technology eliminates those roadblocks, if you will. So back when I had those companies, those plagued us. That was the Achilles heel of those businesses. We couldn't scale. No matter how many millions of dollars we did, we were always capped out. And whether that was capped from stress or from internal issues or just the fact that we couldn't scale because we didn't have the systems, budget, infrastructure to do so. Fast forward to today, I wish I had the systems that exist today in DeFi, and what I'm going to talk to you about with NRGY, back when I had those companies and those businesses, because I no longer have to deal with merchant banks. I no longer have to wait great times to have people get paid. I don't have to wait for products to get delivered. I don't have to worry about the security of data and all of that, because now with the things such as cryptography to secure data and to secure transactions is there. Decentralization, meaning I don't have to go through a centralized party to make these transactions or to fulfill products or do any of that. So NRGY provides this infrastructure to do things totally different. Plus you have blockchain, and blockchain is a way to efficiently manage all your processes. Think of it like this. I didn't even know what blockchain was 2 years ago necessarily, or how it worked or why it was even important. But blockchain allows us to create smart contracts, and smart contracts are just the logic that tells things where to go and what to do. It's actually that simple. So if you want to, for example, if you want to send me $100, you would simply go onto PayPal, you'd sign up for a PayPal account, and before you did that, you'd obviously have to have a bank account, and you'd attach your bank account to your PayPal account, and you go to PayPal, put in my email address, and you'd send me a digital $100 basically from your bank going through PayPal to my bank, that goes to my PayPal, that goes to my bank, if that makes sense. Kind of confusing, right? But that's the centralized way to do it. Whereas now, if you wanted to send me $100, I could give you a little ID, you could send it, and within seconds, without fees, without delay, without risk, I could get that $100. How cool is that? And I could send that on to somebody else, and they could send that on to somebody else, and it's just flawless. It's fast, secure, and it's easy. That's the power of what these new financial systems bring to bear for businesses. And so the reason I'm talking to you is because I tripled down on fintech. I said, you know what? We have a broken rocket. The financial systems that exist for not only just businesses, but for us as individuals, having to give our private information away all the time, having us to prove income, prove all types, ages and income, all these types of things to prove that it's not open to everyone. Right? To have the limits to getting merchant accounts, to be able to have $1 million business, not everybody can do that. And so I said, you know what? The rocket is broken. The financial systems, the infrastructure, the protection, the reliability and efficiency, it's a broken rocket. We're just kind of used to doing it. And if you're a business owner, you know what I'm talking about. You just get used to paying those high fees. You get used to just dealing with this stuff. And it's unfortunate. And it doesn't have to be that way. So when I saw this broken rocket, I said, you know what? There's two things I could do right now. I could build a new business or build the businesses I had on this broken infrastructure and just deal with it like I always have, go on with my life and sacrifice and accommodate these, these limitations, if you will. Or I could say, instead of trying to build one business, what if we built a better rocket that could take everybody to where they wanted to go? What if there was such a thing? And if there wasn't such a thing, what if there was a way to build that rocket? And the reason I say rocket is I get inspired when I hear stories like Elon Musk wanting to go to the moon, and he says, okay, or wanting to go to Mars, and he says, okay, the getting to Mars part isn't necessarily the first important problem. It's the economics of getting to Mars. It's the economics of getting to space. It's the economics of having a rocket that can land itself and be reused. It's the same thing in financial technologies. It's the same thing in decentralized finances, creating a better rocket that allows us to get to where we want to go so we can do it faster, do it safer, do it more efficiently. Unfortunately, there are the PayPals of the world, the middlemen, the centralized organizations that built these great businesses. I use them today. It's just there. It's kind of a convenience now. But they're there because that's just the world we live in. But there is a better way. And so that's my preface into saying I'm talking to you because I believed in a better rocket. I believe that we could work together with some really smart people. I'm definitely not the smart person that created NRGY, or I've contributed in areas that I can contribute and others have as well. But there's some very, very smart, mad scientists behind the scenes that have put this platform together that said, hey, we have a better rocket for everybody. We don't really know how to bring it to the world, so let's get a bunch of people to work together to bring this to bear, to bring this to the market, and to actually create something that's substantial. And there's so many incredible, unique things and technologies and opportunities and uniquenesses about NRGY that I'm going to explain to you now. So before I get into that, I'm going to show you some slides. These are brand new slides. This is a brand new presentation that really it's an overview of NRGY for those of you that don't know what NRGY is. But even if you do know what NRGY is, this is going to help you break down the pieces and see the grand scope of what this is going to mean to businesses, to entrepreneurs, to people that are in the financial space, that are in fintech or understand it, but even more so businesses that just want to stop paying and want more margin and want better operations. This is incredible. And then I'm going to share with you the iNFT technology and how that works, which is unique exclusively to NRGY. All right, let's jump into the NRGY overview. This is the brand new presentation. It's a brand new booklet that we had created for NRGY to explain the technologies, the economy, the DApps, the iNFTs, everything in one place. So you'll be able to get your hands on this here shortly, but I'm gonna go through it real quick with you for those of you that don't know what NRGY is. And for those of you that do, this is gonna help break things down and show it to you in some pictures rather than just all words. And I'm gonna just explain to you as we go through. So let's get started and break it down. All right, welcome to the NRGY financial system. Real quickly, this is going to be an overview of what NRGY is, the technologies behind it, and some of the opportunities that people have to participate within this ecosystem. So to make it very clear, NRGY is not a token, it's not a cryptocurrency, it's not an opportunity, it's a financial system. It's a decentralized financial system that allows a one-of-a-kind distributed business building platform. And this enables decentralized apps or DApps to be built on that platform. So businesses can come in, or companies can come in and build their own decentralized application on this network. And that includes the use of our iNFT technologies, so people that have intellectual property can come in here. But just as a summary, NRGY is the system that allows anybody to come in and participate in the basic digital economy that is the NRGY financial system. All right. So what makes up NRGY? What does that even mean, Chris? How does it work? Okay, so here's 6 kind of defining attributes that make NRGY really special. It's what makes up, it's the building blocks, if you will. So the first piece is cryptography, and that is the security. You've heard cryptocurrency. Well, it's the same thing. It's this financial system is built around the security and safety of cryptography. And it basically just ensures that attackers don't forge transactions, that people don't steal your data. Everything is secure. We use wallets to serve as like your logins instead of using passwords and personal identification and that kind of thing, okay? The second major piece is decentralization. I know a lot of people don't even know what that means, but it's basically a way for us to deal with each other and for businesses to deal with each other without having to go through a middleman, without having to go through a centralized party such as a PayPal or such as a Venmo or any type of software. That doesn't need to be a centralized entity. It's fully transparent. You can see everything that happens and when it happens. You have complete control, and it's fair. It's for the first time a fair, permissionless, and censorship-resistant way of doing business. It's a way of decentralizing your efforts, and it's a major move forward when it comes to that versus having a centralized software application. The third thing is blockchain, and I know personally I didn't know what blockchain was just a few years ago, but really what that is that creates the efficiency and the openness of these smart contracts, which is the code and what everything does. It's on blockchain. There's no human involvement, meaning you don't need to have staff and you don't have to buy software or build software to do stuff. It just happens on the blockchain. You can see what happens when it happens. It's immediate. It's global. There are no boundaries, and anyone can build on it. And you can build on top of stuff. And so if somebody builds a DApp, you can build on top of their DApp, and you can collaborate so much more effortlessly. So these are the 3 core components. And then really here's the 3 that really makes NRGY special, and that's the application economy, the financial economy, and the distribution network. The application economy is just the ecosystem. It really is what makes NRGY very, very unique, in the fact that people can come into NRGY that's secured by the token and the staking contracts and build a DApp, build a decentralized application of their own, or build as we'll talk about, an iNFT and secure their intellectual property, whether that be a YouTube channel, a podcast, or piece of art or music, and all of that is based inside of the NRGY DeFi system, taking advantage of all the technology here. And it's just fair economics, because NRGY isn't a company. There is no centralized company behind this. It's just a bunch of smart people that put this together to allow people to build on. And that's the fair economics comes in that, unlike Apple that takes their 30% for every application on the iPhone or in the App Store. 20% of all the revenue that comes in from dApps and iNFTs and all the things that are happening, 20% of that goes back to the people instead. So it's a very fair economic model, incentivizing and rewarding people that support it. The finance piece is the token, right? It's this high-value digital asset that fuels these powerful new innovations. It creates and promotes deep liquidity, just to ensure that the capital input is proportional to the supply, meaning that there's just not this overabundance of some token floating out there like many tokens that doesn't have any value. That's not the case here. And part of all of this stuff is the technology that's built in the backbone of the financial system, the DeFi system. All right, and the third piece is the distribution network. This is something that's very, very unique. It's only offered within NRGY, and it's very attractive to anybody looking at this, because it's one thing to have a decentralized application, a product, a service, or anything, but how do you get that out to the world? And typically you have to go through third parties and deal with affiliate networks and deal with compensation issues. It's very, very difficult. Whereas NRGY, if you have a decentralized application or iNFT on the network itself, you have a distribution network of people that will go out and help share that with the world, because they're incentivized to do so. And so you have all these basically raving fans of all these applications, because they want to work together to make it successful, because they're staking in the coin. And as more revenue comes in from the applications and from usage, the coin price goes up. So everybody's rewarded. It's completely fair. So those are the 6 main key building blocks. Let's just cruise through here. It is the first fully decentralized DeFi project designed to promote deep liquidity while building an autonomous global economy of self-sustaining applications. Okay, that's kind of in a nutshell, the first of its own, first of its kind, and that's what separates NRGY from everything else. If we were to break this down real quick, the layers of NRGY, if you want to say, okay, what does all that mean? How does that even stack up? Well, if you start at the top, you have the NRGY DeFi financial system. You have this high value asset, which is the NRGY token. And then you have market maker stakers, which are the people who stake that coin into the NRGY liquidity pool. And they're rewarded for doing that. And that creates the liquidity and secures the platform. And then once that happens, you have all these financial technologies then that make building dApps and doing things within NRGY possible. Right, so you have these NRGY financial technologies that tap into this decentralized application economy. So you have all these dApps and iNFTs and things that are being built. And then you have this wonderful, powerful, efficient NRGY distribution network that isn't run by a company, that's run on blockchain, secured by cryptography, completely decentralized, cannot be shut down, tampered with, nothing like that. And that distribution network shares all these amazing dApps, both financial dApps, it could be games, it could be anything. And so this distribution network is highly incentivized to do so. And then all those dApps bring in revenue, right? Those dApps eventually bring in more revenue, which increases liquidity, increases revenue, incentivizes and rewards all the people behind it. Okay, that's a breakdown. So there's the token, right? This slide is just all about the token. If you want to read this later, you can. It just breaks down that there's no centralized ownership, control, or external governance, things like that. No developer fees or pre-mine supply. It's built the right way, and the token is there for people to, you can buy the token on Uniswap, you can stake your tokens, you'll be able to use them for merchandise. It is a global digital currency inside of the NRGY DeFi system. Okay, as we like to call it, it's a coin built to rule. It's one of a kind. NRGY tokens are designed to function inside this ecosystem. It's unaffected by outside markets, and this is important. Whether that be manipulation, sell-off, speculative influence, it could be Elon Musk tweeting. It doesn't matter what anybody else does. It's all built as an internal coin and used internally to build the economy here. Right, so you can come through here. You can check out NRGY on Uniswap. So here's the rub. We have this incredible decentralized financial system called NRGY. We have technologies nobody else has. We have iNFTs. We have services and products and infrastructure and marketplaces and all these things. Yet here's the rub. We somehow have to take all of this incredible technology and all this new stuff and explain it to a world that is based around a centralized organization that is built and born and raised on centralized everything. And the average person uses bank accounts, debit cards, goes through multiple times a day some kind of centralized organization to get the things done that they need to get done. So to explain something that is decentralized, explain something that is more efficient, cheaper, better, more secure, faster, in every single way, 100x better for a business to be able to be decentralized and have their resources and on blockchain and use smart contracts. Yet we have to figure out how to explain this to your neighbor, your uncle, your brother, your wife, your dog, in a way that they can all understand it. Yeah, we're gonna have to science the shit out of this one. The good news is, we have a mad scientist. Yeah, we got that guy. There's multiple applications, all kinds of stuff that you can check out. So the staking part is unique in the fact that you can stake the NRGY coin to become a liquidity provider, and you're incentivized to do that. So market maker staking is what this is called, is an algorithm that targets a 4% compounded weekly yield as new coins are minted. Remember, anybody that stakes, if you were to stake an NRGY coin, that means you're minting a new coin. You're becoming a liquidity provider and putting another coin into circulation. And that's as long as there's new liquidity coming in, those 4% yields are reached. So where do the rewards come from? This is a common question. They're generated and distributed to staked NRGY holders in 3 ways. The first is, as I just mentioned, the 4% minting reward target. As long as there's new liquidity coming in, this goes for 100 weeks. There's a 100-week minting schedule of the NRGY coin. It's not an infinite minting schedule like some coins. They just keep minting all kinds of coins, and there's lots of them in circulation, which decreases the value of the asset. Here, the only time ever that a coin can get into circulation is if somebody actually purchases that and stakes that coin and puts it into circulation, and that's why those rewards are what they are. There's also the 20% shared DApp rewards. Those shared DApp rewards are for anyone that has 25 coins staked or more. You get to share in that 20% of global DApp revenues, just like Apple takes 30% of all the global app revenues on iPhones. Same thing here, except there is no Apple. You are the Apple. The stakeholders are the Apple, essentially, and they get to share in 20%, which in time will be very significant. And then there's also a referral program. The incentives for the distribution network to share NRGY, to share dApps, to share music, to share whatever's in the NRGY ecosystem. NRGY itself rewards its members, or rewards its users, I should say, its stakeholders, 25% for sharing. So if someone shares this out to the world, there's 25% of that staking revenue goes back to those people, which is a huge referral incentive. It's unlike anything that's ever been done before. And it's all automatic. There are no intermediaries in between. It just goes right into your wallet instantaneously. All right, so you can you have full control of your money. Just so you know, there is no outside company. Once again, you earn from the success of the many. It's winning in the aggregate is what I like to call this. You can come through here and read the fairness doctrine, all this great stuff. NRGY is a truly decentralized smart contract following in the footsteps of Satoshi. There's some really interesting things here. You want to come back and read that. So let's talk about the technology. This is really what I want to pay attention to, and that's the technology that you can't really see, but it's impossible to ignore because it's one of a kind first and foremost, and it's evolutionary in what it accomplishes when you start to understand really what we have. So there's just 3 core concepts, and once you understand these 3, you can just open your eyes to the possibilities from where this thing can go. The first is, and we talked about this already, is the Decentralized Distribution Network, the DDN. This distribution network is what shares the dApps to the world. It's what creates this momentum, and it's almost like an affiliate network of people that are incentivized to share the things that they're staking in, whether that be music, whether that be dApps, or whether that be some type of intellectual property. They're incentivized. And so if you look at the Venn diagram on the left-hand side, a DDN, the distribution network, is made up of incentives. I know there's a spelling error. We have to get some of this proofread before we launch it. But there's the network itself, right? And then there's the DeFi, the financial system, which is the seamless payments. It's the seamless contracts that go right into your wallet, right? So, and then outside of that decentralized distribution network goes out to the dApps. That's what shares all the dApp revenues and so forth, okay? And so the second piece, so the first piece is the distribution network. It's so significant when you understand that there is no need for a third party to market these things. It's all built in-house. The second is the actual application economy itself. NRGY was built around this. NRGY's purpose and mission is to create an application economy, an autonomous economy, meaning I have all these dApps that are they're building their own revenues, their companies, their businesses on their own. They're doing their own thing. It's a one-of-a-kind distributed building platform for these decentralized applications. Okay, people can build these applications on top of NRGY and benefit from 80% of the revenue shared among private owners or DApp contributors. Okay, and so if you look at the diagram, I'm not going to get into detail, but in the center you have NRGY, the liquidity pool, the coin, the token, and then around that you have the market maker stakers on that first ring, right? The people that secure the platform. And then outside of that you have the technologies, the security, the things we went through, those 6 building blocks, right? And then on the outside of that you have the dApps. That's what those funny looking triangles are. Those are your dApps, these autonomous businesses essentially. And then if you were to put another ring, it would be revenue. All of those create independent revenue streams. And as a stakeholder, as somebody who has coins or staking, you're not only rewarded, but you have the increase in the coin price that happens when these revenues come in, when more people stake. So over time, you can see the significance there. So if you want to learn more about decentralized applications, what they are, there's several slides in here that will explain the benefits of DeFi apps or dApps and all those things. But we're going to go right to the juicy part here, and this is my favorite, and this is Infinity NFTs. It's a unique technology that's proprietary to NRGY, to this platform. It was created by the developers and some of the geniuses behind NRGY, and iNFTs, as they call it, or Infinity NFTs, are unique because it's the very first DeFi project to introduce iNFTs, the tool set, to developers or digital asset creators, and I'll explain what that means. Let me just go here real quick. Let me find the slide that explains it. So what's an iNFT? iNFTs or Infinity NFTs are DeFi tokens that adds many financial advantages to traditional NFTs. If you don't know what an NFT is, let's back up. So NFT stands for non-fungible tokens, and they're one of the types of cryptographic tokens that can represent ownership of any kind of digital scarce goods, such as a piece of art or collectible or any type of intellectual property for that matter. Okay, so similar to standard tokens, NFTs also guarantee the ownership of an asset. They're easily transferable and they are fraud proof. So if you have a painting, if you're Picasso and you have a painting, but in today's days, because we live in a digital world, you can have a digital version, a digital copy of that Picasso, but it can be official. It cannot be split up. It cannot be copied. You can transfer it, I mean, you could sell it to somebody else, but it's official. It is fraud proof. And so it's a way to secure digital assets. An iNFT, on the other hand, okay, starts with a regular NFT that stores that digital asset data. That could be art, it could be any type of intellectual property. And we're going to go through this in just a minute. I have some extra slides for you. It starts with that digital asset data of ownership and is unable to be copied or fractionalized. iNFTs, however, introduce the ability to stake in that NFT, providing stakeholders the opportunity to profit from the future value of the asset secured within the NFT itself, including any possible licensing revenue or sales. So let's take, for example, someone's YouTube videos or a podcast or any kind of presentation. Let's say you wanted to secure and create an iNFT for a YouTube video or a channel. You could do that. You could wrap that YouTube channel in an iNFT, or an NFT rather, and what would happen is then people can stake in the future success of your channel. The cool part is built into that there's a contract, and that contract assures that those stakeholders have an upside in the end in the future success of your channel. So if that starts to bring in advertising revenue, if merchandise sales come from that, as that grows, those stakeholders they get to share in that back end revenue from the success of the channel. But what that does, it allows people to basically take ownership of your channel, but also stake and give you cash flow, and cash flow the owner and the publisher of that content, which has never ever been done before. So if you look at this chart here, you'll notice the iNFT there at the top, and really you just have the four things. You have, it's unique, it's provably scarce, meaning there's only so many, you cannot split it up, it's indivisible, and it guarantees ownership. Whoever has that iNFT, you are partial owner, you're guaranteed ownership of that asset. And then within that, you have the actual intellectual property itself, or the digital asset that's wrapped in there. You have a licensing contract, and that licensing contract says, hey, okay, if this YouTube channel goes on and makes advertising revenue, 5% goes to stakeholders. Any merchandise or course sales or anything, 5% of all that goes to stakeholders as well. And that's built into a smart contract. And that smart contract tells the iNFT what to do, who to pay, how to distribute the money, and when. And it's all automated and secure. Okay, and so all of that goes into a vault. That's what you see in the middle. All this is stored in an iNFT vault, and that goes into a liquidity pool. And that liquidity pool is what that machine-looking thing is there, where you have licensing revenue that will come into it. You have stakeholders in the bottom that will purchase NRGY tokens to stake in that particular asset, that iNFT. So they purchase NRGY and they put into the staking contract. And they're given rewards for staking. So as more stakers come in, they're given rewards, whether it be 15, 20, 30% sometimes, depending on the iNFT. The asset creator makes instant cash flow from that staking. And then those stakers can also get access tokens and collectibles. If it's for a song, maybe the artist says, hey, if you stake $100, we'll give you an autographed picture personalized to you, or a piece of merchandise, or whatever that's what the access tokens are. And then any future licensing or revenue that comes into the liquidity pool and goes out to the stakers as well. So it's a huge incentive. And then all of that at the very bottom is the DDN, right? The distribution network that's sharing that iNFT itself. Okay, and they just share a link and people can check it out, whether that's a song or whatever it is. People can stake into that iNFT. That person, that distributor essentially, is then given a referral compensation incentive for doing that, for sharing that. Plus, if they have 25 coins in NRGY, they're going to make 20% of what that iNFT revenue brings in. So all of this, hopefully you'll be able to see a copy of this and understand how this breaks down, but that is the machine that is and makes iNFTs very, very special. Okay, so let's just go ahead and continue. Blockchain, let's talk about that. So anyone that wants to participate in NRGY, you need to know that it doesn't need to be complex. This is important. All the heavy lifting, all the difficult stuff is already done. Now you have a better way to build dApps if you want to build your own decentralized application. It's a better distribution model, or what I call decentralized marketing, or DEMA. It's a way to distribute products, services, digital assets in a way that rewards the community. And it affords better opportunities. It opens new doors in the DeFi sector that has never been open before. Okay, and so as I like to say it, we built a better rocket in order to get everybody there together. So how do you do it? What do you do? How do you participate in NRGY? Pretty simple. You just get NRGY to stake. You share it. If you want to share NRGY with other people, you're compensated for that. Share other iNFTs. Share in the DApp marketplace. You're incentivized to do so. And then you can create a better future by building your own dApps, your own iNFTs, if that's something that you want to do as an entrepreneur. So you can simply just get a coin and stake it, partake in the rewards there and the future value of the digital coin. And then you can also share the whole platform through funnels and websites and great media, similar to like this presentation with others. And when somebody else stakes, you're given 25% to help build the network. So it's pretty simple. And all you have to do, you just start out by getting a digital wallet. You can go to MetaMask and download that extension for your website, for your browser rather. That's where you hold your coins. You just fund your wallet with Ethereum. You can just right there through MetaMask, you can buy it, or you can go to places like Coinbase or Crypto.com and just get Ethereum, put it into your wallet. And then you just go to Uniswap and buy NRGY. You get the NRGY coin, and then you can stake it, and that's it. You can stake your NRGY to start earning those rewards. And of course, you can start sharing from that point. You can start building your own DApp if you wish to. There's lots and lots of great ways, but it starts with getting NRGY, getting the coin, staking, becoming a liquidity provider, and really being part of this community. And that community consists of, we have a community chat, we have a Facebook group, DeFi Nation, developer chat, social media places, new blogs and so forth. You just tap into all those resources, they're available to you. And last but not least, you can power your own DeFi project. If you want to take your business, your book, your digital assets, and you want to put it on NRGY and take advantage of the distribution network, take advantage of the asset going up in value, the coin will increase in value over time as more revenue and more liquidity comes in. You have that benefit. You can do whatever you'd like to be able to build, and we support that. You can build decentralized financial applications. You can stake to own your own iNFTs, fundraising systems, incentivized referral programs. There's so many things, and we'll be having what's called Dappathons on a weekly basis to help people understand, okay, how does this translate to my business, to my thing, to my craft? How can I participate? We will be having those resources available to you. All right, and so you can just explore the NRGverse, as we call it. If you're new to DeFi, we have a brand new workshop coming out. It's just going to teach people the main areas of decentralized finance, or DeFi, decentralized marketing, the DEMA piece, and then also the decentralized application economy that is here. So those three major components, a new workshop is going to be available. So if you want to, not only for yourself, but share this with other people and let them learn about it, you can do that. Again, you're compensated 25%, which is super awesome. You can stake, which is an unparalleled opportunity. You can stake in NRGY, and by doing that, you get all kinds of rewards for that, and you get to partake in the growth of the platform early, especially now when the price is so undervalued. And you can just explore. We have the new website coming out, new funnels, new all kinds of stuff. So check that out. I think that's a great way to go. All right, so that's the main overview presentation. I hope that made sense to you. Let's go ahead and continue. Okay, so hopefully this is starting to make sense. Hopefully you're seeing the light bulb go on and say, wow, this is bigger than what I thought it was. It's nothing what I expected. Or maybe you see the potential of all these dApps now, this DApp economy of these individual autonomous businesses doing what they do on the NRGY platform. Or maybe you see the power of these iNFTs and all this intellectual property that exists currently on the internet that's not protected, that's not well monetized, now can come here and do that. And you all get to be able to participate in that. So hopefully that's starting to make sense. But let's lock down the different ways, and what I think there's about 4 main ways of really capitalizing and earning within this decentralized financial system, which is this ecosystem that is NRGY. All right, the first is the DeFi part, the financial system itself. You can become a liquidity provider, and all that entails is you can grab a coin, you can go to Uniswap, you can buy NRGY coins, and you can choose to stake them. By staking them in NRGY, you become a liquidity provider, which helps secure the platform, and you're rewarded for minting those new coins. Remember, NRGY doesn't have the ability to mint coins. There's only so many that are available for 100 weeks. And the only way that those get minted is when you go and get that and stake those. And when you get those coins and stake them, that's how they're minted. And so those rewards are then given to stakeholders for doing so. So up to 4% per week, depending on how much liquidity is added. That's the benefit and the rewards that come from that. Also, in our DeFi system, is you have the ability to earn on the increased value of the asset, which is the coin. So as more liquidity comes in, the price of NRGY goes up. So what may be $200-300 today could be $2,000-3,000 tomorrow. So the NRGY price will go up as new revenues come in and new staking liquidity comes in. Okay, so the asset value of our coin goes up. You also can be a get staking rewards, and which some people don't understand, as long as you have 25 NRGY coins or more that you're staking, you get to partake in the rewards, which is the 20% of all DApp revenues that come into the NRGY system, whether that's a gaming DApp or a music DApp or any kind of application or business. 20% of the revenue that comes in, that goes into a pool, and as long as you have 25 coins, you get to share in that. How cool is that? That is something that has strictly been reserved, which you could not do centrally. You could not, if this was a centralized company, you couldn't do that, right? It wouldn't be allowed for one thing, and it would be too difficult and complicated to do that. Apple does it. They have an app store, if you've heard of it, right? You can go on your phone, and 30% of all the money that comes in from mobile apps, Apple keeps. That's why the App Store and the marketplace that they built is a big reason Apple is valued at what it is. And so the same thing here, except there is no company. There is no centralized company. It's owned by you. It's owned by the people, meaning as long as you have 25 energy coins, 20% of that revenue gets shared amongst the people that are part of that pool. And it's pretty cool. It's a way of rewarding from all those autonomous businesses and iNFTs and all those things, bringing in revenue that gets paid back to the people and the people that support the system, the community. Okay, so that's the first part, is the DeFi, the actual financial system itself. The second way, which is the what I call DeMa, decentralized marketing. If you want to be a digital marketer and share stuff, now because of DeFi, it allows you to do that in a much better, easier, faster, more lucrative way. And just like energy, if you share energy with someone and you believe in this, what we're doing here, you can share that, and 25% of the staking revenue that comes in, people that stake, will go back to the people that share that. It's an incentive to grow a community, which we call a DDN. It's a decentralized distribution network. It's what powers a lot of the iNFTs. It's what powers DApps. When businesses come here to build a DApp, they know they have this distribution network that will help share their stuff to the world, and they're compensated. So every DApp, every iNFT will have its own unique individual incentive to give to digital marketers that want to share those things. Whether that's your favorite song or it's a real estate project that you're really excited about, you can share that with your friends, your brother, your uncle, your dog, and if they decide to stake in that asset, you'll make a little cut there that gets split up and goes to you. So it's a really cool reward system. And again, it's the distribution network, and this is what makes NRGY very, very special, is to have that infrastructure to share all these great things. All right, so that's the second way. The third way is you can look at NRGY as a building platform. So if you're a business and you want to create a decentralized application or create a better way to distribute your products, or you want to create an iNFT perhaps, which a lot of businesses are looking at now, to be able to secure your asset, you create an iNFT for your song, for your real estate, for whatever the thing is. It could be your course, your podcast, it could be your YouTube channel, right? And people can stake in that Infinity NFT, and any future licensing that comes from your YouTube channel or whatever, those stakeholders then can get a piece of that. They get a benefit from it, but they help fund your dream, they help fund your project, and you get to share in that overall success with them. Okay, and so you have the DeFi system, you have the marketing system, and then you have the ability to build dApps and iNFTs on the NRGY platform itself. Okay, so some great ways to take advantage of decentralized finance in ways that you really can't elsewhere. And it's also a great way for you to expand your reach by using this decentralized distribution network as well. Now let's talk about iNFTs quick. This is a quick presentation to basically go into what it takes to create an iNFT. Remember, iNFTs are unique to the NRGY platform. Nobody else has this. Typically, you'll see NFTs, non-fungible tokens, out there for different digital assets, but nothing has the ability to stake in those digital assets and partake in the future revenue sources of that asset. So what does it take? What's inside of it? If you perhaps or someone else wants to create an iNFT on NRGY, what does that entail? How do you do it? What do you get? Let's go through it. You can always download this presentation as soon as we're done. This is available to you to go through or share with other people. Okay, so what does it take to create an iNFT? There's the basic essentials of an iNFT we're going to go through here, and from the marketplace to the token itself to all of this, and we're just going to break it down one by one. It starts with intellectual property. It starts with the underlying asset that is wrapped in the NFT itself. So the contents of an Infinity NFT are made of the intellectual property that's unique, non-fungible, and it's open to anyone. Okay, so it's each unique iNFT provides a stake to own opportunity of the underlying intellectual property that is fair for the creator and attractive to stakeholders. So it could be things from music, information, art, trade dress, merchandise, a process of sorts, a technology, any kind of trade secrets for that matter. As long as you own that intellectual property, and again, it could be content even, you can create an iNFT around it. And then what happens is there's a terms and a licensing contract that is negotiated and figured out. What is the back-end royalty revenues that goes to stakeholders, the referral percentages, future licensing, the asset ownerships, what percentages and so forth, distribution terms. All these things are figured out in a very simple contract, and that's built into the smart contract. And this is what is a set of rules essentially that lives on blockchain for everyone to see, and it runs exactly according to the rules that were established in the previous contracts. So an iNFT smart contract deploys the payments and the ownership in a secure and efficient manner. That's what that does, okay? And then you have this iNFT token that is created. And Infinity NFTs are DeFi tokens that add many financial advantages to traditional NFTs, as we've talked about. Mainly, iNFTs introduce the ability to stake in a particular NFT itself, digital asset. This provides stakeholders the opportunity to profit from the future value of the asset secured within the NFT, including any possible licensing revenue and sales. Okay, so you created this token. Now you have an iNFT for your digital asset that people can stake to own. And that goes into our iNFT marketplace. So just like you would see the App Store, there is a iNFT marketplace where you can browse and check out and search and find the iNFTs that interest you. And if you're not an iNFT owner and you create one, this is where that goes. And so it'll be from, it could be across any vertical. It could be real estate, it could be music, assets, digital, physical, it does not matter. There will be a marketplace to hold them all. And then you're created basically an iNFT profile page, very much what you might see like a Kickstarter page, if I guess you could compare it to that has all the iNFT intellectual property contents in there. It has the terms, the licensing contract details, the smart contract information, what the staking pool, how big it is, what the rewards are up to, what your rewards are going to be like. And you can simply hit stake now and go ahead and stake in that iNFT right on a profile page. And you can browse all the different profile pages for different iNFTs through that marketplace that I just showed you. It also has a roadmap. It talks about the intellectual property, the project, whatever's behind it. And then also if that iNFT has certain collectibles associated with it. So let's say you stake $50 or $1,000, that iNFT owner can distribute and give certain collectibles away, both physical products or digital. It's pretty cool. Okay. And then the most exciting part that I like is the new Energy Staking Manager dashboard. And this is a place not only for you to manage what you're staking in Energy as a stakeholder, but all your iNFTs and dApps and all the things that you're doing. You can see all the DApp revenues in Energy. You can manage all your staking contracts all in one place, see your rewards as they come in real time, and go ahead and stake or unstake at any point in time that you wish. All you have to do is connect your wallet and it's right there. It's a decentralized marketing center, which is also available. You'll see in the new staking manager in the coming weeks, where you'll be able to see all your incentives for promoting different iNFTs, your staking rewards. There'll even be a learning center built into this. I'm super excited for this. This was a big project to do because there are going to be hundreds, if not thousands, of iNFTs and dApps in this economy. So for you as a stakeholder, an investor, or participant, you want to be able to see the numbers, the metrics, the revenues, right? Like your profits. You want to see how much rewards you're getting and when you're getting them very easily in one place, so you don't have to go all over. So that's a very big part of Energy. Also, iNFT owners will be given the option to have a landing page. So if you want to use the decentralized distribution network here at Energy, you can have your own landing page or funnel, perhaps, as you might call it, that people can share with the world that talks about your iNFT. It could be your iNFT for your business, for whatever your thing is, your course or whatever, your book perhaps, and people can share that landing page in order to get you more staking revenue. And then every iNFT is also given an internal promotion through the distribution network at Energy. So newly deployed iNFTs are scheduled for internal promotions through the distribution network, as well as we just work with you. We've got some smart people that can help deploy your iNFT to your market and your social network as well. And last but not least, because the world doesn't even know iNFTs really exist yet, they will very soon, or how they work or what the benefit is, we provide tutorials and support for your markets. So for them to learn what is an iNFT, how does it work, and why they should stake in your iNFT in particular, and the benefit of doing that, and how the rewards work, and just how to do all that stuff. It's a full step-by-step iNFT tutorial that's available for your audience to learn more about participating and how they can participate. And then you deploy it. And that's it. Your iNFT is out there in the marketplace. People can stake your project. They can get rewards in real time right away, and they can hopefully get rewards in the future licensing revenue that comes from your project, your iNFT, across multiple industries. It's an infinite. That's why we call them infinity NFTs. The upside is infinite. So that, in a nutshell, is infinity NFTs. Hopefully this rang a bell for you and made some sense. Now let's talk about the outlook or the roadmap moving forward. What's happening, what's being released, kind of what's the timeline for those things, and what's being built today that's going to support the growth of all these iNFTs and all the dApps and the marketing efforts to support this distribution community that exists now. What does that look like? Let's go ahead and go through a quick roadmap just so I can kind of map out when things are happening, when you're going to be able to get your hands on certain things, and what the future looks like for NRGY. All right, so let's go ahead and just go through that. So the first major initiative right now, originally the first phase of NRGY was to release the back-end technologies, was to develop the back-end technologies, including the iNFTs, the smart contracts, the staking contracts, all of the technology that behind the scenes makes all this possible, was to get that done first, which I will tell you, a lot of projects I've worked on, it's quite the opposite. A lot of times everything looks beautiful and is flashy and is presentable, but the technology isn't there yet, right? They want to market something first before they build it, whereas NRGY was built first, tested, and then comes the flashy and the beautiful stuff. And so the second initiative now is building what's called the front end. Technology's done, technology's there, it's working, it's all ready to go, it's being used now. So our major initiative now is to create the front end to that, meaning how do we explain that to the world? How do we share that with the world? How does the world use the product? How does the world use the financial system? And how do they create iNFTs? What's the process? What is all that? How does it work? Right, and so that is as far as the roadmap goes, that is where most of the efforts right now are going, and that includes the front-end website redesign. There's a brand new NRGY website that's coming out shortly. You'll be able to see a screenshot here of what that looks like, and it explains everything from staking to all the opportunities to the technology and how people can participate, all of that stuff. And so a great initiative is the front end website, and that website will be available here shortly this month. The second part of that is the collateral that goes along with it. We have a brand new presentation, the one that you just saw me go through. That's being wrapped up, so you'll be able to have that. It'll be in a booklet format, a PDF. It'll also be hosted online, so you can go ahead and send people to that, and it just breaks down very clearly, and it explains a lot of the moving pieces of NRGY for people that want to know. You'll be able to have that presentation as well as the iNFT presentation and that breakdown of what's involved, what elements are part of iNFTs. So the collateral, which includes the booklets, the PDFs, the website, as well as the new manager, which I'll go through here in just a second, along with the new funnels. And so funnels are important because it gives us kind of a direct way to target certain markets, whether that be developers, business owners, or marketers, or investors, institutions, whatever that may be. We can create independent funnels that talks to that demographic, that market. And so funnels are right there alongside the front end. It's part of the front end project. So you have the main website, you have all the collateral that goes along with that, and then you also have these independent funnels that can speak and share NRGY with those different markets. You also have the new NRGY manager. Now, this was a very important piece to the project. It came up because we had a website, people could stake, they were staking just fine, but because there's going to be so many digital assets within NRGY, whether that be DApp assets, whether that be iNFTs, music, songs with Star Stake, whatever it may be, we needed an easy way for people to see their portfolio, to see all the different iNFTs that they're staking in, to see all the rewards that they're getting from, this breakout song or this iNFT or this, their staking contract in NRGY, to see how that's growing and to see that all in one place in a dashboard, or what we call the NRGY manager. That that is being built. Here's a quick screenshot that you can see on the screen, actually, of the NRGY dashboard or the NRGY manager. There'll be 5 different tabs. It's a very simple one place to serve everything energy. And so the main hub or the main page here will show all your balances, your wallet balance, your rewards, your builder bonus rewards, all of that stuff will be on the main page. And then you can click the second one, which will be staking. And so all your staking contracts, whether it be the energy that you're personally staking within NRGY or iNFTs that you're staking, whatever it may be, you can manage all your staking contracts in one place. And you can stake or unstake through there. The third place is going to be sharing. This is where you can get your links to share individual iNFTs or the NRGY links that I just mentioned to you from the funnels that are being created. All of those resources and all your reporting to see all the builder rewards that you're getting from sharing these things will all be located in the share section. Okay, and then the fourth section is just your wallet. This is where you manage, where you can buy crypto, buy Ethereum, buy NRGY, transfer, stake, unstake. You can do all that right within your wallet. That's where you connect your wallet as well. And the last piece, which is really special, that it is our training center. The training center is where you can learn about how to use the manager. What is NRGY? You can learn about DeFi. There'll be different mini courses, as I call them, or mini training camps that you can go through to learn different things. If maybe you want to create an iNFT, but you're not quite sure, you'll be able to have that resource to go through the iNFT training course or the DApp training course to learn what it takes to build a DApp on NRGY. So the training center is a really big resource being built right now. It's coming up. We're hoping later this month, we'll have the new NRGY manager along with the brand new front end website, funnels, collateral, etc. Now, after the phase of what I call the front end phase that is wrapping up right now as we speak, we're going to have a lot of the dApps and a lot of the iNFTs starting hitting. And that's where right now they're being built, they're being negotiated, contracts are being done, and that includes StarStake, which is the music iNFT platform. That will be going live fully with lots of songs and artists inside of there. You also have other dApps that are being built and negotiated. Those will start showing up in the marketplace, and just a bunch of iNFTs as I outlined the different pieces that have to be there. Once that front end's done, we're going to see lots and lots. We've already got deals going through now to put them into those, put them into the marketplace. So by the time the front end's done here shortly, within the next, I want to say the next 45 to 60 days, you're going to start seeing these iNFTs really popping in our marketplace, really starting to show up. And so that's going to be the exciting part, because it's about efficiency. It's about getting people from their idea, their concept, their business, to getting that into an iNFT, into the marketplace, so our community can get excited about that, so the world can get excited about that. And that is a huge focus. You're going to start to see that dropping after the front end starts being finished and deploying. Okay. All right, so I didn't forget about Cyber City. I know you thought I was ending this presentation. NRGY Wire is over. That's great, Chris, but what about Cyber City? You talk about this thing that's going to be incredible. What is it? How's it work? Why is it important? I didn't forget about it. I just left it to the very end because I know some of you aren't going to watch this whole thing. So if you stayed to now, let's get into Cyber City and what this means for your pocketbook, what it means to the world, to adapting to decentralized finance, the technologies within it, and how we can all capitalize on something like that with infrastructure and systems and great opportunities. Don't worry, I didn't forget. Let's go. Two key pieces of our roadmap are probably some of my favorites, and my favorite being Cyber City. Cyber City was a vision of mine that's kind of conceptual, that comes from one of my previous companies, iPass. iPass was a marketing system that I had developed for another company. They went on to do over $220 million in revenue. A lot of that was affiliate revenue, and so I saw the roadblocks financially because of the financial systems that existed back then. This was about 5-6 years ago. And I said, you know what, if I ever do this again, I want to do it decentralized, I want to do it better, and that's where we are today. And so Cyber City is going to be a way for us all to communicate and to fund our lives, to fund our dreams in our own way as digital marketers. I come from a marketing background. I'm a digital marketer at heart. That's what I do. It's what I've always done. And so Cyber City is really a platform. It's a system to allow digital marketers to thrive. And the way that that's going to be done is through incentives on the front end that allows digital marketers to get paid right away, that exposes people and puts people through a process that's very linear, that shows them all the different opportunities of energy, from staking in iNFTs to dApps. The whole ecosystem and economy is all within there. And so CyberCity is just going to be what I call the rabbit that we're pulling out of the hat for digital marketers. And the reason we're focusing on CyberCity as such a big project is because the backbone of energy, a big piece of energy, is the decentralized distribution network. The more people we have in this distribution network, the better anybody that comes in and creates an iNFT or a DApp is served, because then they have a big network of people to be able to share their project, to share their decentralized application, right? And so the larger, more secure, more stable network that we can build, the better opportunities that it creates for all these other businesses that come in here. But we have to secure that. We have to incentivize digital marketers to want to be here. We have to create an ecosystem and an economy that's profitable, that's lucrative enough for people to want to be here and not be elsewhere, and at the same time really show off what we're about and not have it blend into the rest of what I call the crypto goo that's out there, whether that's MLMs or these empty promise programs that exist. Energy is so much different. So in order to do this correctly and properly is to really showcase our strengths and to create this economy and this whole platform called CyberCity that gives digital marketers a vehicle to come in, make upfront money, make a really great incentivized upfront, I guess it would be incentive to promote these things. And then on the back end is where everybody that's part of CyberCity gets to see the whole DApp economy, gets to see all the iNFTs and the huge opportunities that come with that. And so it's everything in one place for a marketer, a digital marketer, to go out there and thrive. That's essentially CyberCity. Okay, so that is coming right after. As you start to see these iNFTs deploy, CyberCity is coming right on the back end of that, and then we'll see NRGY version 2, which is some of the updates based on some of the blockchain changes, just to make things kind of match all the changes that are happening out there, okay? Amongst, I'm sure, a lot of other things, but the roadmap exists, again, from front end to the collateral, to the funnels, to the messaging. I didn't mention about videos. There are quite a bit of creative videos being made right now. Now that a lot of the details are worked out, we have some really fun and creative marketing that you guys will be able to use, be able to have, share, whatever you want to do with them. All of this is all done for our community. Again, I don't own NRGY. Alan doesn't own it. Nobody owns NRGY. We're just doing what we feel is the best thing we can do per our strengths to be able to bring to the table something that can make this thrive. And it's a dream project for me. It's something I wish I had back when I owned other businesses and other companies that I was running. I wish I had the things that I have now with NRGY, and so it's my goal to create all the resources and all the things that I can bring to the table to do that, to empower all of you, to power investors to feel comfortable and understand how this works, and then really to understand where we're going, right, and to be able to scale accordingly. So that's the roadmap. Lots happening. This is a big month. July is a big month because we have a lot of the front end stuff being finished. The new NRGY manager is going to be game changing, and then now with the iNFTs dropping here soon, the new infrastructure for that, and then CyberCity on the back end of that, I believe NRGY will be an unstoppable force. That's our vision. That's our mission. Our mission, mine personally, I'm doing everything I can, is to see 100 different iNFTs and apps, or excuse me, dApps, by 2022. So by next year, I'd love to see 100 independent businesses or intellectual properties through iNFTs or whatever in our marketplace by the end of the year. Imagine what that will do to your business, to your opportunity, to your marketing, to whatever to all the NRGY coins that you're staking. And if you're not staking, get staked. If you don't have NRGY, buy NRGY. If you believe in what I've just been talking to you about during this Wire episode, make sure you go out there, get with someone. If you were told about this by someone, get with them. They'll teach you, help you get the NRGY coins now, especially when they're extremely undervalued, because the world doesn't even know this exists yet. There's a very small group of people, a handful of people that know this exists, and they're chomping at the bit to get all these resources and go out there and explode it to the world. And trust me when I say this, when big marketers, when the bigger marketers with bigger lists get a hold of this and they see what this really is, and they see it's not some of that other crypto goo that exists, right? When they see there's real businesses and real revenue that's driving this, That's when things get really interesting. And if you're an NRGY holder, if you have NRGY coins today at $200, $300, $400 a coin, imagine where that's going to be when there's iNFTs, over 100 of them, when there's DApps built, when there's other marketers spending money on marketing and sharing this with the world because of the opportunity that exists. That $200 coin could be a $20,000 coin. Who knows what it could be? I just know the power of the aggregate. To win in the aggregate is giving the power by building a new rocket for all these independent autonomous businesses to thrive. That's the model. So with that, that's the roadmap. I hope that makes sense to you. I hope that's exciting. You're going to see this stuff dropping days and days on top of each other, just more and more stuff dropping as the teams start finishing up on things. So that's the roadmap. Okay, we did it. We made it to the end. This wraps up the first episode of NRGY Wire. It was just something I wanted to put together real quick to share with you the overview of NRGY, where we are, where we're going, the roadmap, some of the opportunities within NRGY and the opportunities for those of you watching today. And here's what I can say. I'll leave you with this. Is sometimes you have to believe in that there's a better way of doing things, even though that it's not what you read about. It's not what you talk about. It's not what you're seeing in your Facebook feed or on Instagram. Sometimes you have to realize that, okay, maybe there's a better way for me to build a business. Maybe there's a better way for me to be in the crypto industry. Maybe trading isn't my thing. Maybe speculating on coins isn't my thing. Maybe for you, like me, it's about building things, creating things. That's me. I don't trade coins. I don't trade like a lot of people. I wouldn't even know where to start on some of that stuff. I have smart people that tell me what to do. But when it comes to stuff like this, I just like to build things. I like to create and just give it over to people and see what they do with it. Maybe that's you. Whatever it is, whether you're an investor that wants to stake NRGY, stake NRGY. Whether you just want to hold coins, grab some coins, hold on to them, see what happens. If you're somebody that wants to look at the possibilities of having your own decentralized application on NRGY to take advantage of a digital asset that has great potential of increasing in value, to have a great way for you to create better systems, more efficiencies, make more money, stop paying those middleman fees, whatever that is, you can build it here. And maybe you just want to take your course, your podcast, your YouTube channel, your whatever your intellectual property or process or program is, you want to secure it within an iNFT and let people stake in the future success of your thing, you can do that too. It's all available here. And if you're a musician, maybe you want to have some people stake your new song. The possibilities are really endless when you start to think about it, and we're here to support you. I know the community is here to support you, so if you know somebody that's part of NRGY, get back with them, talk to them, ask them questions. They'll get you on the phone with myself or somebody else. We're trying to be as available as we can to support this initiative, but at the same time, it takes a collective of people to make this all possible. And so with that being said, just give yourself an opportunity to look at maybe there's a better way of doing things. Maybe there's a better opportunity out there for you that's not about speculating. It's not about what Elon tweets tomorrow. It's not about some random coin that has an infinite amount of supply. Can you get rich in crypto? Can you get rich with blockchain? Of course you can. Could you get rich with Amazon? Of course you could. Could you get rich with the internet back in 1998? Of course you could. Is it easier today than it was back then? Sure is. But if you took advantage of some of those movements, and you can name them on one hand, some of those big movements, Google, Facebook, Twitter, some of the decentralized new applications coming out, right? Social media, social networking, monetizing content, ad revenue, advertising, publishing has become a huge, huge movement of information. Now you take that publishing model and you put it into an iNFT, and now your customers, not only that buy your book, get to own your book and have a staked, they're not only fans, but they're owners of your intellectual property, meaning they get the potential of the upside of wherever you go. So if you want to be a best-selling author, why not give your community the power to participate in that with you? Let them push you to become that bestseller, and let them benefit in the success that you get from that. They get a little piece of that. Makes it worth their while. It's pretty cool stuff. So with that, keep an open mind, be ambitious, have fun, be safe, make smart decisions in blockchain and crypto. There's so much goo, as I call it, out there. Just be smart, use your judgment, find somebody that knows what they're doing to be able to help guide you through there if you're new. And I believe, and I know for a fact that NRGY will be a foundation for a lot of people to not only thrive with blockchain and fintech in general, but perhaps in your individual businesses themselves. So with that, this is Chris Hawk. We'll see you on the next episode of Energy Wire.